There's nothing better than a simple, well-designed tool that gets the job done, making training easier and more effective. And that's why I'm reviewing today the simple calf block from a company I found on Amazon called Kapika, which I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. And as a connoisseur of calf training myself, this is one of the few calf blocks that I believe is really worth the money. I mean, let's face it, you don't need to buy an expensive calf block. You just take some 2x4s and plaque them together, or just use a step that you can find anywhere, and that works perfectly well. And that does get you 99.9% of the way there. However, if you are looking for something that's designed with a little bit more attention to detail and quality, then investing in a good quality calf block can be worth your money, especially if you have any sort of foot or ankle issues, like I do, that prohibit you from using things like calf blocks or just a regular step. It's painful and so on. Or if you're looking for something that feels a lot more solid underfoot, so that way you feel safer and more secure if you're doing really heavy weighted calf raises, like doing them in a Smith machine or using a heavy weight vest. And this is where the Kapika calf block really shines. First off, you'll notice that there's no bolts, there's no nuts and screws and everything. When you get it in the package, all you do is put on the little end caps and that's it. The entire thing is a solid welded unit, so there's not going to be any sort of jingling and jangling and things that loosen up on you. It's as solid and bolted to the floor as you can imagine when you're using it, something you definitely want to have if you're doing heavy or single leg calf raises. The width is perfect, so you can have a wider stance for your calf raises, narrow, and anything in between. It's very, very stable, so it's not going to be rocking and moving around on you. It's also not like overly engineered either. It's not got all these funny angles. Sometimes you see the calf blocks and they've got different angles here, different positions for your feet and stuff. And this is kind of similar to these over-engineered pull-up bars that have all these different angles and handles and stuff to it, when the fact is we're mostly better off with just a simple straight bar. And that's what this calf block is. It's simple, it's straight, gives you all the versatility you want for different angles in your feet and different stances, and it doesn't force you to conform your feet or your lower body in any way according to what the manufacturer thinks is best for you. One of the best things I like about this calf block is the rounded lip. Now, you can do calf raises off of a step or something that is just a 2x4 stuff, but that razor edge can be a little bit more problematic, especially if you're training barefoot, like what I prefer to do. And instead, having a rounded lip, it has a very nice oval shape, allows the foot to transition between a deficit where the heel is dropping below the ball of your foot into a fully extended type of calf raise. Much more comfortable, but it's also more effective, because ultimately when you do calf raises, you don't want to necessarily roll around when you're doing this, but you do want to feel like you're continuously pressing down into the ball of your foot. It's a lot easier to do when you have this rounded lip rather than a jagged edge. So it's more comfortable, it's much more ergonomic, better when you're lifting with bare feet, but the top of it is flat, so you can always put direct downward pressure into the balls of your feet, which not only helps with the enhancement of better calf training, but it also helps with the mobility and flexibility of your calves, as well as the muscles and everything on the bottom of the foot, which in many cases can be helpful for alleviating things like plantar fasciitis or preventing that from happening. I've been using this calf block for almost an entire year now, and I have to say it's held up very well. The rubber end caps certainly aren't fading, they're not getting loose, they're not chipping or anything. And more importantly, the rubber top or the coating hasn't been stretching out or getting looser. A lot of times you see this where manufacturers will put a rubber sleeve over a handle or a pull-up bar or something, and it looks good and it works great for a little bit, but then the rubber gets stretched out, or it's not really glued onto the metal or not connected very well, and it just ends up being something you have to cut off and then you wrap hockey tape or something around it. That's not the case with this calf block. It is very sturdy, very well engineered and designed, and it's holding up just as good as the day that I first took it out of the box. I put a calf training micro workout down below in the description if you want to get a little bit of a good burn in your calves, go beyond just mindless repetitions, as well as a link down below if you want to check it out on Amazon as well. So thank you very much for watching. What are your favorite calf training tips? We'd love to hear from you in the comment section. Be fit and live free.